Happy Thursday, y'all. I hope everybody is doing well. Y'all, I'm going to talk to y'all about the time that bed bugs cost me my job. Lord, I'm itching just thinking about it. And I was the reason that I was even in that position in the first place. If you've ever heard anybody say all money ain't good money, that is so true. The company that I work for now, I worked for them before last year. I was working on a brand new site. Matter of fact, when I took the job, the site was still being built. I was working in a closed restaurant of a hotel taking applications. I think I got it occupied. I think I moved about 79 families in. And if you anything like me, you ain't, even when you're not looking for a job, you're always looking. So one day I went home and I was on Indeed, just seeing what was out there, and I saw this job there. I was like, oh, I can get this job. So I applied for the job, got the interview, and got the job. So, but let me back up. If you don't have peace, quiet, and assurance about a situation, about a decision that you're making, you don't need to move. If you got two of the three, if you got one of the three, if you ain't got all three, you need to sit still. So I did the interview. The place that I went to, and maybe I was comparing the place to my current job at the place, was old and dusty. So maybe I had it messed up because of that. I don't know. But the lady I interviewed with, she didn't have no personality. So I had little signs that I probably shouldn't have done it, but I ignored it because of the money. I'm just being totally honest with you. So I did the interview, went back to my current position at the time, and I didn't hear from them. It felt like 2 or 3 weeks, but in actuality, it was a couple of days. But in the meantime, my husband was like, you got peace, quiet, and assurance about this? And I was like, yeah, I think I'm doing the right thing. But I didn't hear anything, so I just resolved to stay in where I was. I was like, okay, well, maybe I ain't supposed to go. So I got the job and didn't even realize I had the job. They emailed me the offer letter. I think I went to the interview on either Monday or Tuesday. They emailed me the offer letter that Friday. I didn't realize they had even emailed me the offer letter until the lady called me that following Wednesday to say, we haven't heard from you. You're still thinking about it. I didn't even know what you're talking about. So took the job. Matter of fact, when I went the first day, I went late. Now, who does that on your first day? So I got there, was working with the lady. She was training me. Her personality won't know better, but I'm new, so we got to feel each other out. Okay. I was over 2 sites. One was close to me. The other one was about maybe 45 minutes. But even that wasn't a problem because the drive was a nice drive. So the 45-minute drive, not a problem. So we worked at one site one day and the other site the next day. We get to the site that's 45 minutes away. It's a 55 and over community. I don't even remember how many units was in that place. But it's what I call hotel style living. And then there's a lobby and there's apartments upstairs on the second floor, and it's because it's 2-story building. So we get in there, we're training, and she tells me there's one tenant that under no circumstances are you to allow that tenant in the office. And I'm thinking, why not? It's the office. Why you got people banned from the office? But okay, whatever. So she's giving me the tour. She takes me upstairs to the community room, and what she later told me was what they use as the employee break room, but it's actually for the tenants. But both of the doors was locked. The one got a sofa, TV, nice little table and chairs. They're real nice. If it's supposed to be a community area or a common area, why is the door locked? That was weird. And then the other little place where they got tables, a microwave, refrigerator, sink, that was locked. So we finished the tour, we get back in. And mind you, all she said was, under no circumstances do you let this tenant in the office. So when we get back, she's like, remember the tenant I was telling you not to let in the office? We used to have furniture in the lobby. We had to get rid of that, and we keep the doors locked upstairs because that tenant has bed bugs. And I'm like, you said what now? She's like, yeah, we had furniture down here in the lobby, but we had to get rid of it because it was infested with bed bugs. So I'm just like, okay. I said, why is the tenant still here with bed bugs, and what y'all doing, to treat the bed bugs? She's like, well, we've scheduled treatments 3 different times, but the tenant refuses to prep for the treatment. Okay, whatever. I only worked for the company less than a month. I go back to the other site, and I'm working, back and forth Tuesday and Thursday at the bed bug site. So the last day that I was there, one of the maintenance guys met me at the door. He was like, we got a problem. I said, what's going on? I'm thinking maybe somebody died. I don't know. He was like, we got bed bugs. What you mean? He was like, they everywhere. So he's like, then he starts pointing them out to me, like they on the walls just beside my office. They literally everywhere. So I go in and I call my supervisor, and I was like, hey, the bed bugs, they everywhere. And I'm not comfortable working like this. This clown gonna tell me, oh, you must not know how bed bugs work. You know what? You're right. I don't know how bed bugs work. Well, they don't just jump on you. You got to sit or lay where they are in order for them to get on you. Don't even matter. I can't do it. You talking crazy. So, okay, I don't need to talk to you. So I called her supervisor. I was like, look, it's bed bugs everywhere, and I'm not comfortable working here. Do you have a problem with me going back to the other side? She was like, no, I don't have a problem with that. That's fine. And I had already made up in my mind, if it was a problem, this is where my employment ends, because I refuse to subject myself to this. I'm just giving you the courtesy of letting you know this is what I'm going to do. So then Friday I was at the other site, and Monday, and then Tuesday, which I would have been at the bed bug site, but I was supposed to take somebody to court. So I was going to be at the unaffected site on Tuesday as well as Wednesday. So on Wednesday, I sent my supervisor and the one above her an email saying that I would not be able to return to that site until they got the situation rectified with the bed bugs. Nobody responded. I mean, nobody. So I was like, all right, whatever. And on top of that, my supervisor stopped responding to my emails. She stopped taking my calls. So my training basically stopped. I've been in this industry for almost 15 years. So some things are the industry standard, and then you have your company specifics. So I was being trained on the company specifics and all that stuff. So I just did what I knew to do. And I probably did that for about maybe 2 weeks. And one day, my supervisor came up, and I thought that was crazy. That was odd, because you don't even take my calls or respond to my emails, and I'm emailing you with valid questions, and you just ignoring everything. So you here? Okay, whatever. And now that I look back on it, when she pulled up, she went into the laundry room, so she was stalling. So she finally came in the office and closed the door, because I had the door open. I started to say, what you closing the door for? But I didn't say nothing. I just looked at her, because she just walked in and stood there and didn't speak or nothing. She just stood there. So I looked at her. And after a few minutes, and I kept doing what I was doing while I'm looking at her. She's like, Kanita. She one of us, by the way, y'all. This is just not working. I said, you're right. It ain't working. I totally agree with you. She's like, well, they told me to come get your keys and your phone and reconcile your petty cash. No problem. Did all that, and I left. So I called my husband, and I told him, I was like, well, that's over. He said, what you talking about? I said, they just let me go. I said, I had told him that it was probably going to go left when I sent them that email, letting them know that I wouldn't be able to go back until they got rid of the bed bugs. I said, but regardless of the outcome, I got to stand my ground, because I can't subject myself to that. I just refuse. So I told him they let me go. He was like, all right, well, don't worry about it. We good. So I stayed home. That was November, before Thanksgiving. And I ended up coming back to the company that I left. But I'm at a different site. This is a little elderly site, and I love it here. I'm only working part-time, 24 hours a week. Really nothing to do, but it gets me out of the house, and I like it. But said all that to say, you will not regain in sacrifice what you lose in disobedience. All money ain't good money. If you don't have peace, quiet, and assurance, stand still, because the outcome could be detrimental. Y'all be blessed, and I will talk to y'all later.